You say the word single mama to some men, and they automatically think irresponsible woman out there 304ing with rug burns up and down her back and got more mileage on it than a time traveler. You say single mom to another man, and he think, well, mature woman who's done playing games. Well, I'm here to confirm not all single moms is created equal. And there's a lot of reasons for why a woman might become a single mother. But what are the reasons a man would choose to be with a single mom? What are the advantages and disadvantages of dating a single mom? We're gonna dive into that at the end of this here video, but here's what we ain't doing. We ain't finna cower the cancel culture. Let's not pretend that bringing children into a relationship don't complicate shit. Bringing stepkids into the picture makes it even more complicated. Now, of course, this list of 25 red flags when dating a single mom could apply to single mothers or single fathers. But my channel, my brand, Nearapy, it's damn near therapy. It's for the fellas. Speaking from personal experience, some single mothers is just as juvenile as they kids, just as reckless as the rappers they got pregnant for. My goal is to share my personal experiences in ways that help you align yourself with the women who help you grow more than just your erection. Help elevate things other than your debt and your blood pressure. Now here's my story about the 25 red flags I fail to see when dating a single mom. So if you are stupendous enough and in love enough that you would consider seriously dating a single mom, please pay close attention. But before we dive into the story, some of y'all might frown on the idea of dating a woman with kids, call it a simp move or a beta move and all this other shit you've been conditioned to. But let me put some things in perspective for you digital pill poppers. Did your podcast guru tell you that in the USA, step families outnumber biological families? Yes, it's partly due to folks like Future and Dick Cannon. What? Nick Cannon. Sorry, Nick Cannon. Sorry about that. But the point is, it's 60 million children under the age of 13 in the United States of America. And half of them shacked up with one biological parent and another adult who don't even share their last name. Like it or not, step families have become the norm in the USA. Here go another statistic. 23% of all kids under the age of 18 live with one parent, 23%. And 80% of them households are led by single mothers. So the chance of that dime you pulled at the club having a babysitter and stretch marks is pretty fucking high. Am I suggesting you go out and seek a single mom to be with? Hell no, wouldn't be my first choice. But in today's world, there's a good chance that whomever you choose, she already got Lena the plug in the front and the back. She might be wearing diapers. Shit, at this point, you just throwing broomsticks down the hallway, hurt me? But that's okay, on God, it's gonna shrink back up eventually. I promise you. There's somebody out there for everybody. But my job is to make sure that you don't get with the types of single moms bringing nothing to the table for the emotional baggage, financial burden. Here go 25 red flags to watch for when dating a single mama. As a comedic life coach and licensed therapist who has dated multiple single mothers and is currently with a single mom, damn near going on a decade, I'm a vet at this. And I don't mean veterinarian, although I do like to start off doggy style. Let's kick it off. No bullshit. I'm sleep. I'm drooling on my pillow at this point. I hear screams. I jump out the bed and look up out the window to see my girl Sheila revving up her engine in the middle of the night with her kids in the car. In a fit of rage, she sideswiped my Cadillac Eldorado. That's Spanish for pimp shit. Her kids in the back seat laughing and screaming. We want hot wings. Let's go get the hot wings. All this drama exciting to them. She throw her hoopty in the reverse like she about to ram my car again, but she see the lights come on in my house. So she speed off in true cockroach fashion, breaking red lights like a paramedic with a small bladder. Like I said, I already know where she headed. That was red flag number one. Always prioritizing the kids' wants over the kids' needs. If the kids got Jordan, a PlayStation, and a bunch of cavities off in their mouth, that's a huge red flag. Ever since I met Sheila, she always had this habit of giving her kids whatever they want, yet neglecting to give them the things they really needed, like her undivided attention or a paternity test. These kids got designer clothes, but they still emotionally neglected, uneducated, misguided, and malnourished, trying on Gucci with a dollar store mentality. So here they is, a 6-year-old and a 9-year-old got their mama fitting to feed them hot wings in the middle of the goddamn night. You know, I swear to God, as long as I known these kids, they ain't never touched a vegetable. If their mama turned into a pumpkin at midnight, they wouldn't know what the fuck she was. I think deep down inside, Sheila was trying to spend away the guilt of all the shit she had put her kids through. But when it really boiled down to it, she was her kid's greatest enabler. And sure enough, she expected me to enable them too. And when you try to speak the truth into a house full of enablers, you will be punished and resented. It's like you publicly cheered for Johnny Cochran during the OJ trial or some shit. Like I said, I knew where she was headed. Ain't but one wing spot open this late and it's in the hood right off of I-95. I had to climb into my goddamn whip because now the damn driver door shut. I zip over to the wing spot to confront her for hitting my car. Second red flag hit me as I was driving over there. You know what's crazy? This woman, she got the nerve to roll up to my crib at midnight and smash my beater. But she ain't got no time to come over and smash me. No time for a date even. No Netflix and chill, can't even return a damn text. Her whole life is a calendar full of emergencies. I should have put her in my contacts as FEMA. She like a first responder for drama. She took offense when I bought her a set of blue scrubs for Mother's Day. I wanted to just buy an outfit that matched the color of my balls. While we here, do me a favor, y'all. Hit the like button if you like something, okay? It's over here. It's like, I don't know. It's down here somewhere. Y'all hit that shit. But the stupid thing is, I should have seen red flag number 3 from the beginning. She was rushing introductions. When Sheila first told me that she wanted me to meet the kids, we were just about 20 minutes and texting back and forth over some dating app. We ain't even meet in person yet. My brow went up like meta stock. Felt like she was auctioning off the daddy roll on eBay and my dumb ass accidentally clicked something and became the highest bidder in that bitch. I pull up to the wing spot to catch Sheila and the kids in the parking lot. It's damn near standoff. A little 6-year-old balling up his fist and shit. I said, look what the fuck you did to my car. He said, look what you did to my kids. I said, what the fuck I do to your kids? He said, you stopped picking them up from school. You ain't taking them to the park no more. You stopped responding to their teachers' emails and you stopped going to parent-teacher conferences for me, yelling at the top of her lungs. You stopped buying them school clothes. You ain't no real man. I said, what the fuck I look like, foster care in this bitch? The 6-year-old talking about, I want the blue Jordans. That was red flag number 4, over-dependent. 3 weeks into the relationship, she leaning on me for all this daddy duty. I'm like, who was taking care of this shit before I came along? Because at this point, I ain't doing nothing but being handy-manny in this bitch. Hearing all the commotion, the hostess running out the wing spot, playing peacekeeper. Yo, hey, she was earning every bit of that $8.50 an hour. Talking about, is everything okay? And right then, Popo pull up, woo! Now I got prize and Sheila got prize too. And we both played off like we was joking. Evening, officer. We hold hands, hugging and smiling, because we both got outstanding warrants too. The damn hostess got the nerve to walk us into the wing spot talking about table for 4. I'm like, I'm not. Fine. We sit down, I say, Sheila, yes, I pull back. I'm sorry. It's a lot for me to be dealing with. We ain't even been together but a few months. What about your baby daddy? He ain't helping out? Red flag number 5. Conflict with her child's father. She said, no, we don't get along. Every time we try to talk, it just turning into some drama. I said, well, shit, every time we try to talk, it turns into some damn drama. She said he paid minimum child support and he fighting me over that. One thing I learned, parents can't really be there for their kids until they've gotten over each other. And I don't mean being apart. I mean being at peace and having full acceptance of their circumstances. But this ongoing saga was a sign that Sheila and her ex hadn't truly moved on. Later on, I found out he was still playing a queef harp in D major. Being a single parent is twice the work, and it's twice the stress, and sometimes 3, 4, 5 times more mileage on that poon because bills got to get paid, hurt me. And hey, on this topic of paying the bills, I hope you're hitting the subscribe button and that notification bell. If I get 50 subscribers per live stream, the YouTube algorithm gonna start promoting my videos to white folks again. Red flag number 6, the children was compulsive lies. And they wasn't lying about no kid stuff like, Mom, I ain't break that cup and stick it in the garbage. They was lying about grown-up stuff like, nah. Them my used Trojans you saw in the garbage. Ain't no man been over here. Them ain't the type of lies a 6-year-old will learn from watching Blippi. They learn that from their environment. Like I said, in order to buy into the bullshit, you got to stop payment on the truth. Boom! That was Sheila all day. Them kids was only doing what they seen their mom and daddy doing. And that's when it hit me. Red flag number 7. Sheila was in denial of her circumstances. Sheila was still under the illusion that she was a hot, young, thoroughbred shit. If Sheila was a horse, she'd be glue by now. She was lying to herself, acting like she was still in her high school heyday. I'm like, shit, this looked more like Mayday. She had this inflated self-image. Despite being on one credit card away from homelessness in this bitch, she took this childish approach to life with no financial plan in place, as if some athlete was gonna slide into her DMs and save her. 2 kids and no money in case of a medical emergency. I think she thought Red Cross was Blue Cross. No career plan, no play dates or fun activities for the kids. That just let me know that any responsible planning would be all up to me. By the time I realized red flag number 8, it was too late. I was in too deep. You know what it was? Y'all ready for this one? Inappropriate sharing. Sheila spilled her entire relationship with her ex right down to the cigs, even in front of kids. Why she had to act it out is still beyond me. In fact, kids would be nodding along like, yup, we be hearing it. No filter, no boundaries. Just an open wound, just keep bleeding on folks like she crowd surfing on her period. That was the indicator that the wounds around her breakup was still fresh. And I was most likely nothing but a damn rebound or a distraction. Red flag number 9, fellas, pay attention. Inconsistency. They wasn't consistent at nothing. 1 minute, Sheila yelling at the kids for sliding down the stair banister outside the courthouse. The next minute, they doing it again. I'm like, hey, didn't your mama tell you not to do that? Sheila like, oh, no, it's fine. They just having fun. Oh, I get it. So your rules are not rooted in strong principles. They just rooted in however you feel in the moment. I'm gonna go deep on this later on in the stream, but I don't think Sheila realized how constantly changing up the rules creates anxiety for a kid and for whoever's trying to co-parent with her. Only thing consistent in that house was the flow of toxicity and them damn roaches. My heart went out to them kids. Might be the only reason I stuck around as long as I did. Speaking of heart issues, I'm here ordering hot wings for they ungrateful asses in the middle of the damn night. I ain't even got an appetite. What stood out to me was, in a situation like this, I wouldn't just be raising her kids, I'd be raising Sheila too. Because despite her being in her 30s, she clearly hadn't matured into an adult. Here I am, paying for this impromptu dinner. Kids ain't even say thank you. Sheila ain't say nothing either. She just look at me like it's expected. That's one thing I liked about dating foreigners. You ain't never really had to take them inside the fancy restaurant to impress them. You just gotta drive them by the shit, show them where it's at. Yeah, that's it over there. Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah, yup. Just roll up my window, don't let my AC out. Red flag number 10, financial instability. Bills piling up like hemorrhoids. I swear to God, she put the O in overdue. Purse lighter than a pencil. Her youngest put his feet up on the table. I said, excuse me. Sheila snapped, talking about, don't be embarrassing her kids in public. That was red flag number 11. Not allowing me to discipline the kids, so I can't correct a child for putting the shoes I bought him on a fucking table in a public restaurant, but I could pick him up from school, go to the parent-teacher conference, take him to the park, cook for him, buy him school clothes. At this point, only one eating is the kids and bill collectors. And let me tell you something, them kids was hungry. They was stripping the meat off them bones, sucking them, shining them up. Looked like they was trying to put the chicken back together for a science fair or some shit. Matter of fact, here go a red flag that just came to mind. When I first posted the thumbnail to this video, a bunch of people jumped into the comments accusing me of being narcissist, a woman hater, and equating me to Kevin Samuel. They persecuted me before I said one word. But then folks jumped to my defense, and those blind haters started trying to delete their comments, but it's too late. I screenshotted all that shit and made a list. And right now, in the middle of the stream, I would like my moderators to take this list that I sent you and block every near one of them motherfuckers. We have zero tolerance for propaganda. Block their asses right now. It's a lot of good niggas doing time for motherfuckers like you. If you haven't subscribed and hit the notification bell by now, you about to end up on that list too anyway. I said, Sheila, every week I'm dealing with some type of drama from your school. Red flag number 12, excessive child-related conflict. I said, I keep having to take off from work to go pick up your daughter because she acting up. I bring her home and then y'all start fighting. Drama was like, it's like warm water to these motherfuckers. Sheila said, first of all, it's just me. I don't have no help. I said, well, what did you do before I came along? She said, my aunt and my mama will help me out. I said, where they at now? She said, we ain't talking because they always got an attitude and something to say whenever I ask them to watch the kids. You know, sometimes her entitlement came off like confidence. But red flag number 13, no support system or no appreciation for her support system. That was the one. Because this told me if she couldn't appreciate her current support system, she would not be grateful for my contributions to her and her kids' lives either. And she'd eventually have beef with me too. I said, so you expect folks to help you out, sacrifice their time, their money, and energy, but in the same breath, you don't want them to call you on your bullshit. Her oldest sound off, I ain't know you was mad at grandma. The 9-year-old said, yeah, grandma cut mom off because she keep getting back with daddy. Sheila look at me as if I blew her fucking cover. Her youngest jump in excited, you getting back with daddy? She said, no. He said, can we go stay with grandma then? Sheila barked back, hell no. Me and grandma ain't talking right now. Red flag number 14, dishonest with her kids. I said, Sheila, these kids love their grandmama, for better or worse. It's being kept from their grandma without knowing why is kind of unfair, huh? Can't keep kids in the dark, then wonder why they lost. But they can feel a lack of harmony in the family dynamic. Nobody's talking to them. Halfway into the meal, a 6-year-old Tip talking about, I want grandma. I want grandma. You know what Sheila told me? Well, grandma don't want you. So shut the fuck up and eat your chicken before I give you something to cry for. Woo, that shit was colder than an ice fishing porta potty. I said, damn, Sheila. She said, damn yourself. Red flag number 15, ignoring her kids' emotional needs. Sheila was blind to the emotional world when she was putting her kids through. Left me feeling a kind of way. In all my years of research as a licensed therapist, the common denominator in the most unhappy, unfulfilled adult, the common denominator was that their parents ignored their emotional needs. When they was kids, their parents made them feel as if their feelings were irrelevant. Their families didn't talk about feelings. Folks call it tough love, but at the Nearapy Center, we call that shit dysfunction. And then those folks grow up acting like that shit normal, and they do it to their kids. The irony of the whole thing is that the common denominator for success and fulfillment is emotional intelligence. What's wrong? Ain't nobody tell you that on Quick Talk. Yeah, emotional intelligence. And people will argue, no, it's actually your social circle. Well, without emotional intelligence, how do you earn a social circle? Yeah, like I said, this ain't Quick Talk. If you were not taught how to process and communicate your emotions effectively, that's just another way of saying you were not taught how to achieve and maintain love. You were not taught how to achieve and maintain wealth. You were not taught how to achieve and maintain family. That was Sheila all day. And she was just setting the kids up for the same fate. If you ain't hit the subscribe button by now, you was not taught how to express gratitude for the coldest game on the internet. Boom! Look, y'all, for real, I ain't just another pretty face. I'm really trying to build something that's beneficial to folks. All I need from you is a few clicks. Hit the like button, hit the notification bell, a share, a comment. I'm trying to make this shit so relevant that it can't be ignored. I'm trying to help men go from fumble to focus. And I'm trying to do it in a way that brings us together. Ain't no goddamn gender war. It's just a bunch of cowards afraid to heal their past. So they spend a lifetime blaming everybody for the nurturing they never got from their parents. Okay, your mama, your daddy did not protect you when you were a child. And it hurt. You just forgot how bad it hurt because it was so long ago. Well, I'm here to help you heal from that in the most relatable way I know how. So you can stop flinching through love and life. But if you can't come to YouTube and hit the thumb, hit right under the video, hit the like button, hit the notification bell. YouTube ain't got no reason to share my message with more motherfuckers. Comment, engage, share the damn video. And just to be clear, in case y'all didn't know, I won't say something else. What I'm not here to do is I'm not here to promote division. I'm not here to blame folks for our struggle. I'm all about us taking individual responsibility for what we are going through. Yes, you got done wrong. Yes, it fucked up your disposition, but ain't nobody coming to fix it but you. Once again, but where was I? Oh yeah, man, I would tell Sheila all the time. I said, you and your kids been through a lot. I think y'all would benefit from some, I don't know, therapy or some wise counsel. At least drink a green juice, damn. She was always constipated. I ain't gonna front. I prefer constipated women. Seriously, all that shit in their colon be pushing up against their guts make the pussy feel tighter. But anyway, red flag number 16. Sheila kept dismissing my suggestions and found accountable for some shit. Y'all know what that means? She thought that her pride was more important than her pride. Boss! Hey man, somebody explain this wordplay to these guppies. She was oblivious to her own emotional limitation. She had never stopped to evaluate herself. How could she? She was raised up crazy, got pregnant young, and she'd been in the rat race ever since. And guess what? The mind can't heal on the hamster wheel. Boss! Hey, she was just surviving and reacting to life circumstances, survival mode. When a person lacks self-awareness, there's no way that person can appreciate your presence in their life. They can't understand the sacrifices you make to be with them because they don't see themselves as flawed. They don't see themselves as having emotional back. It's easy for them to judge others because they are yet to see themselves. Boom! Matter of fact, most folks don't want to find themselves because they don't believe they hold value. Boom! Woo! That type of person usually doesn't feel worthy of their own attention, so they demand all of yours. Boom! Blind spot so big, she really needed a service animal. Fuck it. Boom! Anyway, a huge red flag that I forgot to mention was red flag number 17, unresolved legal issues. Sheila was constantly on the phone with her lawyer because she was in a custody battle with her ex. Let me tell y'all something. The added stress and financial strain of legal battles will shave years off your life. It sucked up so much of her energy that she was losing her booty. I felt a soft spot in my heart for her, but I was saved by the bell because the waitress walked up asking if she could get us something, get us anything else. I said, anything else? I didn't even want this fucking meal. Sheila chimed in, just give this bum the bill. I had the opportunity to dip on her, but I stuck around to get in the last word. I said, if I'm such a bum, you pay for it. She said, just like my baby daddy. Y'all ain't shit. I said, I don't know how I kept ignoring all these damn red flags. She said, what red flags? I said, what red flags? Is you joking? Yo, shit like a Chinese military parade. She said, you ain't no cakewalk either. Red flag number 18. Excessive negativity about her ex or comparing me to her ex. The bitterness in her voice when she talked about her ex smelled like gasoline. It was hard to swallow and impossible to ignore like a well-endowed homeless nigga. You see, somebody constantly complaining to you about their ex, it's just a matter of time before they be back with their ex complaining about you. But red flag number 19, incapable of tough conversation. Listen, if you get with a person who can't have a tough conversation without getting emotionally overwhelmed, y'all ain't grown. The only way progress can occur is through coming to terms with and learning from your weakest quality, your pain points, and most difficult emotional challenge. And if them discussions is off limits, well, so is your progress. So is your fulfillment. So is success. You know what? You might as well go play bucket drums outside a 24-hour Walgreens. This way you can take your broke ass inside and use the bathroom whenever it rains. If you can't have mature discussions about difficult topics, you cannot, you will not grow. Bars! Somebody type bars in the comment if you get that. Type bars in the comments if you get that. I laid it on the line. I said, Sheila, I know I've been distant lately. I can't do this shit no more. We ain't together, we just coexist. And other than drama, I don't even know what I'm getting out this relationship. Sheila asked the waitress for a to-go box. I could tell by the look in the waitress' eyes, she was baffled. There wasn't shit on that table but a chicken skeleton. The waitress obliged. I said, I know you ain't expecting the bum to pay for these wings. The waitress showed up with a to-go bag. Senses the vibe, scurries off. I said, Sheila, what you come here for if you can't afford to pay? She started crying. I said, you'd be able to pay for these wings if you was employed. Red flag number 20. Would only respond in crisis. I offered to get her a job at my security gig. She said, no, I got it. Weeks go by. She still ain't got no gig. Bills piled up and her ex is threatening to take her to court for full custody because the kids ain't eating. She went and told the court that they was all on detox. Then she wanted my help. Talking about she needed a man to handle it. I'm tired of making her bad decisions into my emergencies. I said, I ain't life alert. I tried to get you a job. You wouldn't let me. Now you all up in the wing spot expecting me to pay after you hit my car. Remember this, anyone who is terrible at receiving help is usually incapable of teamwork. And they will usually be pushing away the people or trying to control the people and everyone, even the people who love them the most, away. My mentor, Romani Malco, always said, if you don't become good at accepting help, you will become great at accepting failure. Bars, damn it. Me and Sheila sitting there going back and forth like cameo. The kids jumped in. Sheila threatening to leave unless I apologize to her kid. I said, I ain't saying nothing to your damn kids. I'm talking to you. She said, but you making them cry. I said, they crying from constipation. They ain't got no business eating this late, let alone hot wings. I said, they wouldn't be crying if you let them see their grandmama. And that's red flag number 21, hot damn it. Using our kids as leverage. You pull your kids out like weapons anytime you ain't getting what you want. If you don't straighten that out, these kids will grow up being used by their peers in the same way. And they'll think that type of manipulation is love. She start crying again. Hey, let me tell you something about Sheila. She was the ultimate manipulator. She could go from ratchet to fragile quicker than you can hit that notification bell. This heifer throw the ranch dressing at me. The kids start throwing shit too. The waitress and the hostess run up trying to clear the table. The kids start swinging. Yes, no, listen. The kids started coming to blows with the waitress, the hostess, and the manager. And the kids just yelling, world star! The lack of respect her children showed to the people in that establishment spoke volumes. Red flag number 22. Poorly socialized kids who don't see value in courtesy and respect. It's like a mirror reflecting the mama's own lack of common courtesy. I should have noticed this from the beginning, but she had it tucked behind her fat ass. Them kids just younger, more obvious versions of exactly who they mama is. No moral compass or consideration for other people. I was so embarrassed at this point, I just paid for the meal, wiped the ranch dressing off my face and walked out. The ranch dressing was good though, and the minute I got back to my car, this clarity, this sense of peace, it just came over me. I realized one of the biggest red flags. Let's call it red flag number 23. Sheila had no system in place. There was no set routine for a kid. No set bedtime, no set meal time, no extracurriculum, no schedule. She was raising these kids like free-range chickens. And listen, I ain't talking about them 1 square foot shit chickens you buy in the supermarket. I'm talking about real free-range chickens. Every now and again, they go to church, but that was rare. And the few times they did go to church, they'd be so late they had to watch the sermon on the Christian channel. They had no code of ethics, no list of values to live by. If the family can't reference the list of values they live by, it's probably because that list don't exist. Don't exist. Like a monogamous athlete. In my house, we have a list of values that our kids have to memorize. These rules, they guide our communication style, our behavior, our work ethic, our hygiene, how we express our feelings, how we show respect, so forth and so on. Sheila had nothing in place for herself or her kids. No rules, grow fools. Boom! As a man coming into that environment, it would be up to me to put these systems in place. Sheila and her kids were so used to that chaotic lifestyle that they used to resent me for trying to bring structure into their lives. You should see how they would react. They would get to throwing garlic at me and holding up crosses to my face in my sleep, calling me demonic for saying they should soap their asses when they take a shower. Man, it took a minute, but I finally got to my car, started it up. I look up and Sheila and the kids is being escorted out the restaurant. Surprisingly, none of them was wearing handcuffs. Sheila looked tired, run down, a ghost of her once vibrant self that I had only seen on social media and on the dating app. Red flag number 24, poor self-care. For the first time, I realized that I spent half my day trying to convince myself that Sheila was a diamond in the rough who just needed help and a budget. Trying to convince myself she was misunderstood and done wrong. My daddy told me something right before he got one of my exes pregnant, and it stuck with me. He said, when you see a dog on a short leash, leave it alone. What he meant was, when you encounter people with chaotic lives, full of drama, they are not victims. They are usually in that situation due to a series. I'm not talking about a Netflix series. I'm talking about a series of poor decisions. They may have convinced themselves that they are victims, but if you ever take any advice from a licensed therapist, you better take this advice. Don't let them convince you that they are victims of anyone other than themselves. Because if you do, chances are you will be their next victim. Boom! And don't trick yourself into thinking you can slide in and slide out. Post-birth pussy is addictive, you heard me? It's hard to cut them loose when they kids involved. At least it is for a man with a conscience. Seeing her in this light, I feel sorry for her. Her and the kids walked right up to my car window, literally following a flurry of tantrums and instigating a damn fight. She suggests we move in together. A 9-year-old was like, what? Sheila cock a goon hand back like that. Her daughter damn near folded into the fetal position. And hey, y'all, you might undermine this one, but red flag number 25. Look out for people whose kids fear them. Now, I know a lot of y'all from the old school and y'all think that's okay. Not me. I ain't trying to relive my past. Like her kids feared her. Sheila used intimidation to get what she wanted out of her kid. It would be just a matter of time before she was coming at me like that, playing a victim in the process. Next thing you know, I'm in jail for domestic abuse. and I ain't raised a finger. I said, move in together, you serious? He nodded. I looked her dead in the eye. I said, baby, I paid for the meal, but you're gonna have to pay for your choices. Boy! I bit my tongue, but I had so much to say and so many questions. But my biggest question was why? Why would a well-endowed man of my pedigree consider dating a woman who has kids for another man? Why would a brother even be attracted to this type of situation? What did I have to gain? All right, let's keep it real. I think deep down inside, I wanted to be her knight in shining armor. I fantasized that she'd be so appreciative of my help and loyalty that we would live happily ever after. But like I said, it was a fantasy, maybe even a healing fantasy, meaning I was trying to heal the broken home I grew up in through my relationship. Growing up seeing my mama get ran through and dogged out by my daddy gave me this Captain Save-'em mentality. I was subconsciously trying to prove to every woman that I was not my daddy, that I was more loyal, more considerate, more caring, more integral, more honest than the man who destroyed our family by running through all my mama friends, my mama mentors, my ex-girlfriend and one of my probation officers, and he did all that in like 2 weeks. I was trying to repair the damage my mom and dad imposed on our family and imposed on my self-esteem. Basically, I was trying to right the wrong that wasn't mine to right. I need to know that y'all get that. If you get that, I need to see flames. I want to see flames right now in the comments if you get that. You understand what I said? I was trying to repair the damage my mom and dad imposed on our family and on my self-esteem. Basically, I was trying to right a wrong that wasn't mine to right. Those were my parents' choices, not mine. And my parents used to put a lot of their drama on me as a kid. My nickname should have been Oscar. Shit, had me tangled up in their affairs, lying about where we'd been and who'd been over, just like Sheila's Kids, lying about the rubbers. And I had to learn to separate myself from that and honor my path. I had to stop trying to fix other people's situations and focus on healing myself. Otherwise, I would never get around to knowing what I really wanted in a partner. I had to focus on forgiving my dad and my mom for their negligence. I had to let that go. I had to let the story I'd made up, I had to let it go. Because without that, I would spend my life bending over backwards for any woman who appeared to be suffering the way that my mama was, hoping to get the love, acceptance, praise, and harmony I never got from my parents. Looking back, my mama wasn't no victim. She played the victim. Matter of fact, she played the victim to this damn day. But in truth, she too was an instigator. They both gave each other STDs. I gravitated to the relationship dynamics that was most familiar to me. That's why a lot of us will choose the ratchet single moms over the righteous single moms. Bars! It's called daddy issue or mama issue. It's called poor point of reference. And don't think just because you a man, you don't have it. But you can't fix a life that ain't yours to begin with. It ain't your job to repair the emotional damage your parents imposed on each other. Just focus on repairing the emotional damage you absorbed from it. And the key to this whole shit is finding a woman who was graceful enough to allow you to fuck up, hold you accountable without shaming you, and give you the support and space you need to heal, give you safety and a sense of emotional protection you never got from your mama and your daddy. And sometimes the person who can do that for you may already have a child with a man who couldn't do the same for her. Bars! Look, fam, most people ain't looking for partners. They are looking for the ideal version of their parents. That's what psychologist Lindsey Graham calls a healing fantasy. It ain't finna happen, Captain. Sitting there in the parking lot looking at Sheila, realize I ain't in no position to save nobody but TJ. All I can do is learn, understand, and decide if I'm gonna ride. I put my car in drive and rolled off. I ain't looked back, even as our voice raises, even as our kids is crying and watch me pull away. I'm not abandoning them. I'm just choosing not to abandon me. To the young men out there, do not lose yourself in the maze of someone else's life. Your life is complex enough. If you are unsure about your own issues or the value you bring to a relationship, please look in the description. Click the link to my value assessment test. It's 50 questions that will change your life and help you see you as you truly are. The link is in the description. Just because you're a man, it doesn't mean that you have to overlook your emotional needs or your sense of security. A lot of men end up making lifelong commitments in relationships that afford them no sense of security and very little emotional support. Like I said, cancel culture can kiss my fungus toenail. Watch this video and it will give you 7 things to ask for. This next video, I'm gonna have it posted, I'm gonna have it right here. Oh, shit, let me see, I'm gonna put it, where y'all think it goes? It look better here or look better here? I'm gonna put it up here somewhere. But it's another video. It's gonna give you 7 things that you should ask for in relationships to make sure that you get the sense of security and the emotional support you deserve from any woman you decide to commit to.